In this video on Elden Ring, I'm going to show you a mod that changes the complete playstyle of the game. It has both an easy and a hard mode. Right now we're in the base game. You can see my movement speed, you can see my attack speed, is everything that you are very used to. With the hack and slash mod that's made by TADcanoe, you can suddenly have a slightly faster movement speed, but the most noticeable thing is going to be the attack speed. Some of you will think this is way too fast, and yes it is, but there are so many other mods and changes that go alongside this to make the playstyle very interesting and change the game into like how the mod is named, a hack and slash playthrough game. So I've just loaded up a level 12 account that I just started the other day to, get back into Elden Ring after the DLC was announced, which we all did, we all started playing again. But you'll see here, I now have faster speed, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm stronger. That just means I can hit faster, I can dodge faster, everything is still different. There are a few changes towards I don't take as much damage. The game becomes a lot more forgiving in that way, but you also have enemies that have a ton more HP because I don't think they had this much HP in the past, but you also can't stagger them as easy. You'll notice this mod is all about playing the game and playing it fast as if it was an actual hack and slash. You can actually see here torrent speed is light speed now. Like you actually can traverse much quicker. If your computer's a little slow, this might hurt a lot. It's a very different way to play, like you can interrupt enemies just as they do attacks. I don't think it's completely more difficult than the base game, but it is a very different way to play Elden Ring. There's also a perfect block system so that if you block just before you get hit, you can actually negate pretty much almost all the damage from an enemy. To make the pace a little bit quicker, you actually get runes at double the pace, so all of the runes that you get twice the amount instead of the typical, single amount, I guess. You just get twice as much. Smithing stone upgrades have been made half the price, so instead of spending a lot more of the, smithing stones, it now takes half the amount that you would normally use. So instead of like 2, 4, 6, it's now 1, 2, 3, essentially. There are detailed descriptions on all of the items and then talismans in the game. So you can see like for Vikes War Spear, it has a description of what the madness does at the bottom. And even for the talismans, you can get a much better idea of like how they work. For those of you who like to change your builds quite frequently, you're going to have the greatest time to try pretty much any build you want. When you go ahead and you open up the menu and you go into item crafting, you can actually craft rune arcs for, that extra bonus, that like buff to give you the extra 10% HP. Or if we go all the way down here, you'll see here we can find a Larval Tear, one that you can use to, reborn yourself so that you can reassign all your levels and create a whole new build from scratch, all for 10,000 runes. Pretty nice. Now this might sound a little bit silly, but they even increased the speed of how fast you can move on the map. And my god, it feels amazing. The fact that you can actually move around because it used to be so slow. And I'm sure you're noticing all these random icons that you definitely don't have on your game. This is actually a mod that is tied in with this. This mod is called Map for Goblins. You can actually get it as a standalone too. You'll find it in the link that I share in the description down below, because at the end of this video I'll be showing you how to install this mod, like mod pack essentially. And what these icons are actually things that you can find in the game that you haven't picked up yet. So it tracks everything that you haven't looted yet. Once you pick it up, it disappears off the map. Quite nice and convenient. You can go ahead and you can find like all different things, like, oh, there's a scythe over here. This one says it's in the cliff bottom catacombs, which you can see is over here. So there's the entrance to the catacombs. You go in there, and if you go and you progress to this location on the map through the, the catacombs, you'll fight something and probably get the scythe. Or maybe it's in a treasure chest. Yeah, I don't know. The final mod I want to talk about that's included in this mod pack is called Boss Resurrection. And as that sounds, you can resurrect bosses to fight them again. For example, here is the beginning of the game. The tree sentinel is normally here. You can see they're not here right now. If I do a pan around, I'm pretty sure you would see him pretty easily. If we go ahead and rest at a site of grace, you'll see here in the screen over here, we have the option to do boss resurrection. Now this works in 2 ways, which is pretty cool. So if you go boss resurrection, you'll get a bunch of different areas of the game. For example, like Lake of Rot, Ansel River, Sophria River, literally all these different locations. We're going to go to Limgrave, and you can see here now it's going to list all the bosses in Limgrave. Now in our case, we're looking for the tree sentinel at the bottom over here. So you can see tree sentinel, we select him, it says the boss is dead. So this is the indication of whether the boss is alive or dead. It tells you where you can find it. You can find it near the Church of Ella. We know where that is. This is the site of grace that we're currently at. And we can also go ahead and resurrect him. So resurrect, do you want to use a rune fragment to resurrect the boss? Yes, I do. Cool. Now you'll see the top option says this boss is alive. And quite simply, that's what it means. The boss is now alive. Now you can use this in multiple ways to go like, hey, I've never fought this boss before, the Crucible Knight, and go in here, boom, this boss is alive. Okay, where is that? It's found in the Stormhill Everjail. Now you have an idea of where this boss is found. So it's a pretty cool way to track which bosses you have done and or have not done in an area yet. So if you know, something seems unfamiliar or says it's still alive, you can always go ahead and go find it and go kill it. Now, for some reason, after you resurrect the boss, you actually have to interact with the Site of Grace again to force it to update. I don't know why this is a thing, but like we resurrected it the previous time. We just have to sit at the Site of the Grace just to force update the game. Then we leave and you should see that the boss will now be roaming on the outside over here. So if I go around here, there he is right there, as you can tell. So he's there. So you will see that you can re-challenge bosses just like this and, you know, fight them in their states to really, you know, get a different idea of it. You can see here, even though I'm like level 120, I'm like not doing any damage to him because he has a massive health pool. You know, like it's taking a lot longer and he still hits pretty hard. And I'm terrible at dodging apparently because I'm focused on talking. And there we go. We killed the Tree Sentinel for the second time in the game. Of course, you don't get the loot the second time. You know, if you've already gained the item or the drops from it, the second time is purely for fun. You're just doing it because, well, you know, want to fight it again because you had a great time. All right, so let's talk about how to install this mod, and it's actually so simple. You're gonna be like, wow, okay, cool, that's great. I'm gonna do that right now. Now, because this mod alters the game in a huge way, you will not be able to play the game in online mode, so you will have to go to system and you will have to go to the Earth icon over here, the planet icon, and make sure that you have your launch setting to play offline. You do not want your game to load in online because you might get banned from online play. So make sure that this is set in offline, and you'll know you've done it correctly when you're on the home screen here and you look at the bottom right and it says offline. Once it says that, you know you're good. That's fine. You're great now. Now, in order to easily install this mod in a way that you can, you know, play without the mods or play with the mod or even change the mod and put other mods in if you want to try different mods at any time, you're going to always start by getting Mod Engine 2.1, more commonly known as Mod Engine 2. You can find a link to this page in the description down below. When you do see this page, to download this, you're just going to scroll down here just below where it says contributors, and you're going to go to assets, and the one that says .zip at the end over here, the one that says Mod Engine, a bunch of numbers. The numbers might be different in the future as the versions go up or change, but this is the file that you're going to want to get. You'll see it even gives you the size, 6 megabytes. Click here, and this will prompt a download for it, and it will download. It will download in a zipped file. So once you have this, you're going to go ahead and you're going to right click, extract the files to the location where you are right now, and then you can delete the zip file because you no longer need it. Now, you don't actually have to put this in the game file. You can put this on your desktop if you want. It doesn't matter where you store this. This is essentially where you're going to be launching Elden Ring with the mods that are basically stored in here. You're going to store the mods in here. So if I go in here, you'll see here, there's a bunch of files and there's a folder here called mod. All of the mods that you download are going to be going into this folder called mod. It's quite simple. So when we're going to download the hack and slash mod, we're going to put it in the folder called mod, which I'm going to show you in a second. So go ahead and store this folder in a place that you can access it easily, that's not in your way, and you know, you can still find it. Now you're going to go to the Elden Ring hack and slash mod on Nexus Mods, the one created by TADcanoe. You will need to log in to Nexus Mods by making an account. It is free. You don't have to spend any money anywhere. Just go ahead to this icon at the top right here. You're going to go ahead, you're going to log in. And once you're logged in, you can click this link again, link to the description down below of this video. You'll get to this page over here. There is a ton of information you can read. If you are interested, there's a lot more, you know, detail than I went into because I try to summarize as much of this as I could, because this is quite a lot. This is a really cool mod pack. You can even see these are the different mods over here, which I recommend you go check out individually as well. Some of them are really awesome. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to go to the tab that says files. So where it says, you know, description, you're going to click files. And this is going to show two different options, main files, which is the Elden Ring hack and slash, you must download this. This is the hard mode, should I say, of the mod. Like I mentioned in the title, there's an easy and a hard mode. The easy mode is actually an attachment that you add onto the hard mode. So you can download the easy one over here, but this is one file that you basically just replace in the main one, which I'll show you how to do that if you are looking for an easy Elden Ring hack and slash experience rather than a hard one. So for the main one, go ahead and click manual download. It will warn you and say you need Mod Engine 2. You already have it. Just click download over here and you'll see the Elden Ring hack and slash screen should pop up over here. You're going to click slow download and this will begin the download of the mod. Right now it's 82 megabytes. Once that is downloaded, you'll see here it will be in a zip file just like the previous one was, and you just have to right click, extract it. You will see you should get a folder called mod. It actually makes it quite simple because everything called mod is going to basically go into the mod engine version of the mod folder. You can remove the .zip file because we no longer need it. And inside the mod folder, you can either drag it into your mod engine folder and it will merge the two mod folders that have the exact same name, or you can go in here and you can just cut everything here and move it into your mod engine mod and go ahead and paste it in that mod folder. And if you go outside the mod folder, you'll see back to all of these different icons where you can see it says Armored Core, Dark Souls 3, and Elden Ring. You're actually going to be using the one that says launch mod _ Elden Ring. This one right over here. Now, if you are playing the game on Steam, you will have to open up Steam first so that it can actually access the game. If Steam is closed, clicking this is not going to do anything. So what you're going to do right now is just double click launch mod Elden Ring. And this is going to go ahead and open up the game with the mod. You've done it. That is literally it. You go ahead, continue. You can use the file that already is made progress in the game, or you can go ahead and start from scratch and experience a hack and slash from the very beginning. You can see my speed is very fast still as we're using the mod to play the game. Everything is working in order, and that essentially is how you install this mod. Really easy, right? Now, if you want the easy mode, or where enemies have less health, let me go ahead and show you how to do that. So we're going to go ahead and close this game again. So if we go back to the Elden Ring hack and slash mod link that's in the description down below, we can go to the files tab like we were at previously. And this time you're going to go ahead and download the hack and slash easy, the optional file over here. Click manual download just like this. Click download to start downloading the file. Click slow download and this will actually begin the download. It should end very quickly because it's literally one file. You'll see it will give us a zip file as Nexus Mods always gives us. We're going to right click this and we're going to extract it here. You'll see it's just going to be a regulation file like that. We can delete the zip. We no longer need it. And now you're going to take this regulation file. You're going to go ahead and you're going to cut it. And you're going to go into mod engine, the folder. You're going to go into the mod over here. And you'll see when you paste it, it will actually want to replace the original regulation file over there. Replace it. Basically, the new one just gives enemies less health, whereas the old one still had the higher health for the enemies. So now that we've replaced it, the game is going to be much easier. And at any time you want to launch it, you just go ahead and go to launch mod Elden Ring, and we can go ahead and play the game again. Now, if at any point you don't want to play with mods anymore, you can actually just not use this to start the game. You can start the game from Steam like you normally would with your Elden Ring icon. Or you can go in here in the mod folder and you can change these mods and put new mods in here to experiment with different mods without actually having to play with your Elden Ring, files and, worried about messing anything up. If we want to remove the mod here, we just delete these files, boom, and you can see here, now that this folder's empty, mod engine, even if I had to launch the mod Elden Ring, it's just going to launch the vanilla version of the game without any mods. So that's how you can remove mods if you wanted to. And that's everything you need to know about the Elden Ring hack and slash mod. I hope you guys do give it a try, and thank you so much for watching this video.